So, hello guys. Nice to see you all on our Vue Meetups number 5, hosted by Epic Max and driven by me, Pavel Mironov. So, I like that more and more people joining our meetups where we can speak about different things, where we can express ourselves and talk about technologies and not only about that. On today's meetups, we will be able to uncover our two speakers. First one will be Dmitry Kushnerevich. Dmitry is a pretty experienced developer, 5 more years in our company. And the second speaker will be me, Pavel. I will speak about how to not burn out at work. By the way, I'm reminding you that you guys also can participate and be a speaker in our meetups. You just need to write an email on our Epic Max email, and you will have a high chances to be there as a speaker. So let's get started. Dmitry, microphone to you.
Okay. Hello, guys. Let me share my screen. Here. Hope you hear me. Hope you see my presentation. Well, since the first Tech Talk this year, I want to say Happy New Year. I'm glad to see you all here. And I guess it's a great time to start this year with some digest and cover some topics about technologies, about trends, about everything. Well, so I will tell you about 5 modern, new or almost new libraries, tools, and updates you should use or you should know in 2025. Also, I will tell you about 5 obsolete libraries you shouldn't use anymore in 2025. And in the end, we will have a little bonus section. Well, let's begin. But before, let me tell you about myself a little bit. My name is Dmitry. I'm a front-end developer in Epic Max with 5 years of experience. I worked on various projects, and interesting fact about me is, as I said, I have 5 years as a developer, and I still love it. So anyway, there's my social media links. You can add me. I will add you. We'll stay connected. I guess it's fair trade. Well, let's begin. The first tool I want to share with you is Cursor. For the people who don't know, Cursor is an AI-based code editor, which just made your life easier as a developer. How? Well, he has some features. For the people who are familiar with tools like Copilot, these features may be quite familiar. For example, AI autocomplete. Well, this code editor will help you by reading the context of your code and by fulfilling it with some suggestions and snippets. And also, this code editor has a natural language editing feature, which allows you to write just plain English commands, and code editor will transform them into code. So yeah. Another feature is AI assistance. Well, editor will help you highlight you some mistakes in your code and other things. It will help you with refactoring, etc. Also, it can help you with navigation in your code base. It will help you to find some declarations, etc. And for people who have concerns about privacy, this tool, this code editor, have a special privacy mode and works under SOC 2 certificate, which should help you not to worry about privacy, I guess. And you may ask, is it free? Actually, not exactly. You can use it for free, but it will be a limited version. You can try a pro version for like 20 months, 20 days, and decide should you use it or not. And actually, guys, as you can see, there are a lot of AI technologies nowadays. And yesterday, US, United States government announced Stargate project, which will Stargate company, which will work on super neural network project. And the giants as NVIDIA, OpenAI, Microsoft, Oracle are involved. So I actually have a question. What do you think? Should a person who can use AI tools pretty well, but don't know programming language pretty well, should he be recognized as a junior developer? So if you have your thoughts, your opinion about it, please write in chat and we will discuss it when I finish my presentation. That's pretty it with this tool. Let's move to the next one. The next one is HTMX library. So HTMX library is another front-end library with a special approach. It works by using attributes. Well, let's look at a code example here. For people who have some experience with Vue, this might be quite familiar because it looks like Vue directives. As you can see, you can make requests, listen to events, etc., directly in HTML code without any JavaScript involved. What about features? Obviously, the first feature is that it uses HTML attributes to handle everything. The second feature is that it updates only specific parts of website instead of reloading the whole page. I'm not sure that it's feature. It's like a must-have nowadays. But anyway, the third feature is that it's server first and works with server-rendered content. And it's a pretty lightweight, only 10 kilobytes in size. And to handle real-time update, it uses servers and events. Well, there is a table when you can see you can see a comparison between HTMX and the modern UI frameworks. Well, as you can see, it's a pretty tiny. It's even less in size than Vue. Community is pretty small, but it's growing. And this HTMX is pretty it's easy to integrate it well, and there is a history about this project. It began as Intercooler.js, which was wrapper around jQuery. And the main the main idea of this project is that it will be as stable as possible. So developers say us that they have no plans to add any significant changes in the core of this library. So you can write code now, and then you can use it even in 2035, and it will work without any problems. So if you want something extraordinary, you can use this library. Let's move to the next tool. The next tool is Bruna. What is Bruna? Bruna is open source API client, which primarily focused on offline modes and simplicity. Well, what about its features? Well, the first feature is that it stores its collection as plain text, so you can share them. The second feature, as I said, it works in offline mode. You don't need internet for it. The third feature is that it's cross-platform. You can run it on main 3 platforms without any problems. And it's open source and pretty flexible. You can configure it as you want. So here's a comparison between Bruna and Postman and Insomnia. Postman and Insomnia are quite popular, I guess. But as I said, Bruna focuses on offline modes and open source priority. So Postman and Insomnia still relies on cloud-based technologies. They can't work fully in offline mode. And even though they have some features out of box, some of them might be might require payment. Well, and the next feature, the next update I want to tell you about is a specific update, latest update to Node, which added partial TypeScript support to it. Well, you can use some features of TypeScript inside Node now, but for deep support of TypeScript, you still need to use third-party packages. And I guess we will see a full support of TypeScript in the next major update of Node. And for people who don't want to wait until this update and want this TypeScript support out of box right now, I can suggest to try the next package. It's Bun. What is Bun? Bun is another JavaScript runtime which is focused on performance and focused to provide everything out of box. Well, what about its features? Actually, the first feature is its performance. Developers assure us that it's quite great. It's faster than Node.js and Deno. The second feature is that you have everything inside it. Is support of TypeScript directly out of box. Also, it's compatible with all modern APIs, like a fetch and WebSocket. And it's pretty lightweight. You don't need to configure it. You just move directly to your code instead of tons of configuration. Well, here's a comparison from their official website. And as you can see, its its performance quite great. And here's a deep comparison between Ban, Node.js, and Deno. And if you analyze this table, you will see that Deno is like some intermediate, like a compromise between Node.js and Ban. Because Node.js is like a mature project with a lot of dependencies now, and Ban.js and Deno are like modern replacements for it. But mostly in all of features, Ban is superior because it has more tools inside its bundle. It has it's better performance. So yeah, and I guess it's enough about Vue tools and libraries. Let's talk about obsolete libraries. I mean F and farewell section. And the first library we shouldn't use anymore is obviously jQuery. So why? Because jQuery, even now you can find a lot of websites that still use jQuery, and even last year, jQuery had a major update, like a fourth version. But well, there are a lot of replacement nowadays, like native JavaScript or modern frameworks like React, Vue, Angular, even HTMX. So just use them. Let's step over it. The next library is Moment.js. Well, why we shouldn't use it? It's a heavy and deprecated package. And even if you visit their official website, you will see a note from developers say that please don't use this anymore. There is a replacements like date functions, or Wixon or JavaScript API. So the third library we shouldn't use anymore is Lodash. Well, why we shouldn't use it? The reason almost the same. We have a lot of coverage in modern JavaScript, so this library just obsolete. So instead of installing Lodash, you just use modern JavaScript. The same I can say about the next library, _JS. _JS was outdated and overshadowed by Lodash, which was overshadowed by JavaScript. I guess there is nothing to add. And the last one is require.js. Well, since we have ECMAScript models, we don't need require.js anymore. So just don't use it. Well, here is a summary. Please look at this list, remember all of these libraries, and don't use them anymore. So what about bonus, actually? Well, have you ever seen when people run games by using refrigerator displays or microwave displays, or trying to play some hardcore games by using guitar or vegetables? Well, I know another way to play games. Have you ever heard about PDF games? Well, I mean PDF games. Well, I have a couple of examples for you. The first example is Tetris. Tetris. It's a old but gold game, so you can play it in a PDF format now. I guess there is nothing to add about Tetris. The next candidate is more significant. Well, some enthusiasts recreated Doom in PDF format, and you can even play it. To do it, you need to have a Chromium browser. And well, that's pretty it, guys. But I have a mini story for you. When I was in university, my teacher, my professor told me that I should show my gratitude to people who listened me, who watched my presentation, who spent their time to it. I have to show this gratitude somehow by warm words, by some presents. So, guys, these flowers for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dima. That was a great talk. Thanks a lot. So we already have a bigger discussion in the chat, mostly about the first part. It's about should we determine people who are using AI tools, but not knowing the code actually, as a junior developers at least, and as I can see from the chat, we consider that it is not. We shouldn't. We shouldn't because we at the moment we was a juniors, there were no any chat GPTs, right? So only in fact of that. I'm joking. Actually, AI tools right now is great. It's growing really fast. I'm using it every day in my work, in my pet projects, even in some tasks in my life.
I guess I can agree with this opinion because, in my opinion, now we live in society where still people who know how these AI technologies working, and let's imagine if there are just AI technologies consumers left who don't know how to operate them, who don't know what's under the roof, under the hood. So it will be an end of society, I guess.
Yeah, probably. We get a question from the chat. How can a junior find their first job now? What is your tips?
Oh, actually, it's hard to say. Hard to say how to find it, but I guess if you wanted to find it, you need to be as much updated maybe as possible. You should know what is about the trends. You should be flexible because, well, actually, my friend found a job recently as a DevOps developer, but he never had a DevOps project. He worked with Vue, he worked with React, but never worked as DevOps developer. So yeah, the main skill, I guess, is that you should be as much flexible as possible.
I can add some ideas on my own, if you don't mind. Okay. So what we're looking for, actually, very nice points is like pet projects. So if you have something especially finished, like maybe a clone of some site, maybe YouTube or whatever you desire, like Twitter, something like that, finished and your own, that's very good. And also English is very good. communication skill is very good, and also to find the first job, you have to try a lot as a junior. This is just the reality of market. It won't go on first try. It won't go maybe in the first year at all, but you will find it probably. And the bird help as well. I'm not sure how much. Maybe it's like most of the most of the benefit. But yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's quite easy actually to, when we still speaking about the AI tools, based on my experience, it's very, very easy to go into the deep hole where any AI tools will provide you something that you don't even need and you don't even ask about. And even they will fake some things like the libraries, and you will not get any positive from that. So I do believe right now, if you're using some AI for coding, to not put the complex tasks, because right now AI cannot handle that properly based on my experience. Okay, we have another question. As a fresher, everyone gets positioned as junior developer. Then how can freshers can start their journey?
For sure, everyone.
I mean, that's the dilemma we always have, right?
Yeah.
Company wanna you to have an experience, but you don't have an experience because you haven't worked yet.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a big dilemma. But I guess even if you have if you don't have as much experience, you just should be quite open. You should show your enthusiasm to develop yourself, that you want to develop, to grow, and maybe it will work. I mean, I guess it's a problem of companies. They searching for, they expect some things from junior developers, like they should know some deep things, etc., etc. But I guess the main things people should and companies should focus on are like soft skills of developer, because a lot of people don't think that soft skills are great, but well, if a developer quite if he has bad soft skills, it will damage the whole collective. So yeah, soft skills are quite important, and I guess enthusiasm as well. Two main things you should worry about.
Yeah, I agree with that. We also get a good point from the chat that the open source experience can be also a great addition to that. It will, like you said, it will show your enthusiasm, and it will show that you're open for opportunity to work in different areas. So yeah. Yeah, we got a message from Greg from the chat that he found a lot of positions right now on Vue.jobs.com that asks for junior developers to join teams, and I think it's because some smart companies can hire juniors, then train them in the bigger developers, and then they will stay in the company. Because right now is also the problem that developers migrating from company to company, right, to find the better place to work. Okay. Do you have any other questions, guys, to Dima? Thank you, Dima. Yes, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move forward. And usually I'm saying that I'm throwing the ball or turning the microphone to something else, but actually right now I will be the next speaker. So I'll just get the ball to me.
1 second, there is another question about
Okay,
AI.
sure.
Well, so I think that the market will change, and in the end, there will be like you should know how AI tools work, and I don't think that they will replace junior developers because it's like generations. It's impossible to replace all junior developers because some senior developers will finish their careers. Mid developers become senior and finish their careers. So it's just like generations. I don't think that AI will replace junior developers, but maybe the purpose of these developers will change. So that's my thoughts about it.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that we even cannot speak about this in this direction, like AI can replace juniors, because if the AIs will replace juniors, that means we will have another level of juniors that should have should be more experienced, should know more information, right? But there will be junior just in another term. Please, Evgeny.
I also think maybe we will shift somewhere more to the communication skills, because like right now, a junior developer is mostly about coding and they have requirements and they code the task, and this could be outsourced to AI about now, and very soon it will be, I think, it's a full task. It should do good enough job. But then all the communication parts like planning, discussing iterations, this is still something very important and something developer could do. So I think even like you would have a different set of skill. You would maybe be as a junior, a less coder, less hardcore coder, but then you will be a better communicator. That would be like a baseline probably.
I agree. Okay, I don't see any more questions from the chat. That means we can move forward. And let me share my screen. Okay, do you see it, guys?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's get started. Hello again. My name is Pavel, and I'm really thrilled to have you here today. My talk titled as Code, Create, and Conquer Burnout. It will be a journey into how my own experience and my own pet project can spark innovation, boost your skill set, if you will, make them, and help you to fight burnout. So let's get started. Today, I walk through the several key areas. We'll start by understanding what burnout is in our industry. Then we'll explore how pet projects can create a refreshing counterbalance to that stress. Next, I will share my personal experience developing some trading system for MMO game I play right now, and discuss the challenges I faced and lessons I learned. And finally, we'll close with the key takedowns and questions and answers, probably. Okay, what is burnout? Based on the definition, it's a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. Burnout and laziness are quite different. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and as I said, and mental exhaustion caused by the stress, whereas the laziness is typically a lack of motivation without underlying stress. If you are feeling constantly tired, unmotivated, overwhelmed by your work, it's more like to be burnout. But however, recognizing this difference is important in addressing the issue appropriately. So burnout isn't just about feeling tired. It's a state of complete exhaustion in any aspects. Studies suggest that over 50% of tech professionals report that high stress levels, and around 40% of software developers they experience burnout. In fact, burnout in tech is 2 or even 3 times more common than in other fields. And the result can be severe: lowered productivity, higher turnover, and serious mental and physical health challenges. So there is pet projects as a creative antidote. Pet projects offer you respite from the high-stakes environment of a professional development. They let you experiment freely. They have no limitation. You can learn at your own pace and reignite your passion that often gets buried under deadlines and expectations on the main work. It's those personal endeavors that can spark real innovation and keep burnout at bay. And hence, pet projects, if you know, let you experiment with the new frameworks, with the new technologies, with everything freely. There is a lot of space to use your creativity and let's say make the projects stick to the cutting edge technologies and methods, whatever. So let's move forward. Right now, I will speak about my journey. At some point, I was looking at the internet to some MMO game to play in, and I found that there was one game launched in early access status. It names Core Punk, and I started playing it. It was really fun. There is many features, but actually there is many, but as well as the features, there is many problems. And one of the problems I faced with was that the game lacked a trading system, which is actually essential for the MMORPG games. So the trading system in the game was like on the screen, you see the screenshot from the game. It's just a chat where people can speak to each other and try to find something. And you know, if there is a lot of people playing the game, like thousands of them, you will never find a good offer that you want to buy, or you will not sell anything. There is a high chance that you will miss something important for you. So Corepunk also missed that feature. And that was my first thought, that I came to the conclusion I need to create something, because personally, I was need something to trade efficiently in the game. So I proposed myself in a self-imposed hackathon. I set aside a weekend to develop the initial MVP. I kept the scope tight, focusing more on core functionalities like listing, like offer creation, connection between players, which was made by Discord. Right now, there is no any open API of the game. So what I can offer to the users of my project is to make a system that they can easily navigate, filter, find things they want to buy or sell, and then by pressing a simple copy message, paste it to the chat, and directly navigate to the user they want to trade. So I decided to use Node.js and Express as a backend, together with MongoDB and TypeScript. On the front end, I decided to use Nux3 with composition API syntax, TypeScript as well, and CSS as a CSS framework. As a UI framework, I'm using right now Vuestic UI, which have a lot of possibilities to modify things. So yeah, it's highly customizable. So there is my key milestones from the beginning: to craft some basic schemas in MongoDB to handle user accounts by authentication done via Discord. item catalogs and the listings. The trade flow will be the next one. As I said, we have a listing. You have a different. You have few pages currently. You can create offer. You can check offers. You can check offers by specific user. And thanks to authentication, you can create and modify your own offers right now. At the first MVP, I was not thinking about how to create authentication at all. I wanted to provide an ability to the players to immediately have an opportunity to trade more efficiently and to not lose track on what economy right now in the game. So as a first MVP, there was no any authentication stuff. And just late after, I added Discord as a method of authentication on the website. So I also wait a little bit. There is also another slide that I wanted to share that it is always player-centric focus. It means that I'm creating thing that I wanna use, how I like it to use. This is the by the way, the website address is corepunk.help. You can check it in real time if you want, guys. That the screenshot of the first iteration of how I made a listing with the some filters made by icons. There is also some input with the seller name to easy navigate to some specific orders made by specific offers made by specific user. This is the second one. This is the second iteration where I revamped design a lot. I also found people who are interested to improve the website because they know that improving the website, we are improving our game community as well. So I found some designers that helped me to make it more comfortable to use and represent more information. So this is the second iteration of the implementation. Also, I took into consideration that at the some moment, developers of the game will include auction house into the game. So the trading system of the website on the website will be not relevant anymore. And at this moment, I started thinking that I need to implement some other features that will keep players to visit my website and have it useful for some purposes. So I created also a page where people can check server statuses. That's actually another thing I want to say about a little bit later. And also, recently, I added an ability to make their own builds of their characters. So they can select some points, choose the perks they want, and then share their builds via link to some other players, discuss. And yeah, that's how we keep in community alive. So moving forward, I also, on the way of creating the website, I challenged a lot of things. For example, at one moment, I woke up at the morning and took a look at what state of the website right now, and I found that there is more than 3,000 fake offers created. At this moment, I started analyzing how is that happens, and I found that there is no, I didn't implement any mechanisms that will prevent this kind of offers creation. So some smart guys just created a script that created offers in a short period of time, a lot of them for me. So instead of, because of that, I implemented resource monitoring and safeguards to quickly detect these unusual usage patterns and prevent them. Also, one guy from the game community said that I also need to check what plans I have right now in my deployment tools. I'm using Heroku at the moment because, again, bad guys can DDoS my website, and if I have elastic plan, it will grow and grow and grow for thousands and thousands of dollars. Fortunately, there was a limitation for fixed price of any CPU usage on the server. Also, as I said previously, I found the people that with me analyzed what we have at the moment and what areas need to be improved, how we can improve flow of creating offer, of finding the offer and the final trade. So there is new connections, and that's how we trying to continuously improving UX of the website. Yeah, and the last but not least, I started facing some competition with other guys that want to implement the same thing with me. So I already know about 3 websites that's doing the same thing in slightly different design and slightly different mechanisms, but at the end is the same because there is no API that can connect players in the game. Fortunately, I started to do the project first of them, and that's why right now there is big community is around my website, not about my competitors. Okay, what I learned actually a lot, not just how to implement the project from scratch again and again, but there is also some technologies like, if you remember, I was talking about that I implemented some server status page. How I did that, I learned that there is a tool named Wireshark that allows me to intercept some requests that a game is making, and I found the addresses where the servers of the game from different countries is standing, and I use those things in my website to provide the information about online or offline status of the websites. The next good thing I learned is some Unity basics, and again, Unity intercepting tools like Unity Explorer. Game is written on Unity, and at some moment we decided with my friends from the game that probably we need to implement some wardrobe on the website, because right now you can use different skins in the game, but they are like a jack in the box. You cannot you don't know how your skin will looks like if you will improve quality of it. There is different levels of qualities of the skins, like the common one, uncommon, rare, and epic. And until you will spend really a big amount of resources to improve your skin, you will not be able to understand how it will looks like. So we decided that we can extract some textures from the game, some models, build the wardrobe on the website using Three.js. Currently, it is in the progress still, because extracting some textures is not a really easy job from compiled game, but we are working on it still. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. But before we will wrap up, there is some key points to remember, guys. Always remain vigilant about your deployments, your development, your resources. Design robustly to prevent abuse, but not at the expense of user experience and your own. Embrace every challenge as a chance to learn. And let your passion shine through pet projects. Fuel your creativity and helping guard against burnout. For me, it works quite well, because when I'm developing things that will help me, it cannot be not about the game. It cannot be about different areas of my life. I'm always satisfied by result, and then this good mood will mirror to your main work. At least that was working in this way for me. So thanks for listening, and I'm open to any questions from you. So don't see any questions. That means that you took the information I wanted to share. I hope you guys will not take a burnout, because it's really a big problem right now. Thanks, Evgeny. Okay. So I think we come to the end of our meetup number 5. Glad to see you guys there, and I will be even more happy if you'll join our next meetups. I reminding you again that you can participate and be a speaker of our meetups. The next one will be around 12th of February. So waiting all of you on our next meetup, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.